Part 2 of the feature tour. I have a 15-minute limit, so there's a few things I didn't get to show you in the first part of the version 1.12 feature tour of NBA Stats Tracker. So, for example, there are some cool things in the box scores themselves. Let's open any of the box scores that have been entered. Spurs versus Jazz. For you can, besides the team box scores, there's of course the box scores here, the player box scores. Oh my god, I drew a blank. The metric stats are here. Here are the player box scores for the other team, and of course here are the best performers. Here the player of the game and the 3 best players from a game. This is something that a lot of people want to use in their association stories, so I've made it really easy to use that. And of course, this can help you get a quick glance of which players made the biggest contribution to the game. Besides that, there's a few features concentrated around the Redditor and importing and exporting from a 2K save. So let's say I make a new database, Redditor for 2K13 comes out, and I want to start a new database and import my save. So I'm going to use this dummy database for this example. So first thing you want to do, you may be tempted to import straight from your save, but there is a cool feature hidden right here, Tools, NBA 2K Tools, import last season stats, which allows you to have a first season with the stats of the actual previous season, both team and player stats, into the database. So let's start with that. Import last year's stats. It tells you that it's going to overwrite the current season, so make sure to do that before you start. I have some CSV files exported here from my supposed association. This is a roster for now, but it will do. Because no teams have played any games yet, the tool can't detect which games are in my association. I'm just going to say that the 30 current teams are in the association. It's going to ask me to save them. You can enter your own name. I'm going to overwrite the file that I always have the 30 current teams in. Okay, it told me I should save. To verify that I want that, go to League Overview, and here are last year's stats. All teams are here, all players are here, everything is here from last season. This is a great feature. So now that you have last year's stats, you want to start a new season, of course. Don't worry, this just starts a new season in the same database. Doesn't do anything to your previously current season. So as you can see, we're now in season 2, and I can of course first import. I don't have to export separately for the current year and the last year stats. It can get up to last year's stats from teams and players completely without any help from me. I just tell it I'm going to use the current 30 teams. You can use whatever teams you want. And here's a cool thing. So for example, let's say that you had this is what happens between imports from Redditor. Any transactions and any injuries that have happened since you last imported are going to be reported to you, and you can copy them to the clipboard and put them in your association story or take a look over them to know what has happened, which players have been traded, which players have signed extensions with their teams, which players signed from free agency, and which players were sadly waived. Okay, these are a lot of extensions, and these are the players that have been waived since the last import, which was last year's stats. And here are the players that have gotten injured, and you're also going to get players that are returning from injury, and also players that were injured when you last imported and are now injured again, but with a different injury. Okay, NBA 2K12 stats import successfully. Verify that you want that by saving. I'm going to save. And if I go to League Overview, I can see that the teams don't have any games played. If you import it from the middle of your association, the team stats would be here, the player stats would be here. But this is the start of the season. And another cool thing, so if you now go to, for example, the yearly stats for the Heat, you can see that season 1 is going to be last year, as you imported the stats from last year in season 1, and season 2 is the new season. And same goes for the players, of course. If I go to LeBron James, and I don't know why I'm doing that, his yearly stats are going to show up here. But what if I want all the player career stats? Because NBA 2K saves keep a lot of career stats, up to 20 years of career stats. But not for teams. Teams are just the current and the last year stats. But for players, it's 20 years of career stats. So what if I want those? Can I get them, or do I have to add them manually? You don't have to add them manually. Just go to Tools, NBA 2K Tools, import previous year's player stats. Same folder, you don't have to choose another one. Add player stats starting from 1 season ago. No, we imported the last season. Let's go 2 seasons ago. Load the active teams again. Okay, we're waiting as the player career stats are being imported. It's a lot of them. It's going to take a few seconds. I promise this is not an arbitrary progress bar. It actually does stuff in the background. Okay, save again. And if we now go to Heat, LeBron James, his yearly report, here's every season he's been in the NBA. The stats straight from your NBA 2K save. For example, if you were in your 3rd or 4th year of your association, this means that stats from your previous years of the association were going to be here as well, so you can check a player's progression and, of course, check out his career stats as well. So this is pretty much it. You can get all the player career stats, you can get the previous season stats, you get messages telling you what are the league transactions and injuries since you last imported and all that fun. And note that any stat changes you make, you can export back to your save. Don't know what you want to do that in 2K12. We had a reason. The reason was the team stats were terrible, were messed up, they weren't being accumulated properly, but in 2K13 the stats work. So I don't know why you would want to edit the stats, but if you want, you're still going to be able to do that. So this was pretty much it. Hope you will enjoy using NBA Stats Tracker either as a real basketball coach or either as an NBA 2K player to gain an advantage over your opponents. Along with your editor, I hope you have fun, and if you have a cool use for NBA Stats Tracker that I didn't showcase, or if you like something particularly, or if you dislike something particularly, you can of course always go to help, about, website, and give me your opinion on what's going on and what you liked, what you didn't like, your feedback, everything. And you can of course donate if you like it that much. So this was pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.